Sundays, Ask Susan Sunday Live, the place to be every Sunday, for your questions, for what's popping for you, for that special place where you know we've got your back. And here we go. We're going to play with something that I was reading about this week. If you're on the Susan Lazar Hart newsletter, you know you got it. Hey, Nita, welcome. And if you're not, get on to our newsletter, Up Close and Personal, where I delve into things that I don't necessarily delve on the Ask Susan, and where I actually answer some of your questions that are popping in a different way. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Vas. Welcome. Yay! Peeps are popping on. If you know of a member of the Ask Susan live community that should be on here, tag them. Say, get over here. Because the question we're asking today is really about, hey, Christine, good morning. Thank you so much. Playing with you from Turks and Caicos. Dee, welcome. All the peeps are popping on. Wow. This is another one of those topics that slowly starts to rumble, right? I was reading about Dr. Terari Trent's book, The Girl Who Buried Her Dreams in a Can. And I started to investigate how she lived and what she lived and how she created. And you know, for me, everything is information. There's always that place to ask, what else is popping? What else do I need to hear? What's required today? Universe, send it in. And Tuesday, that information popped for me. And one of the things she talks about is the hunger we have inside of us, right? And then she started talking about little hungers and big hungers. And I thought, well, I've kind of heard this in a different way. We talk about little priorities, big priorities. We talk about being ADD. We talk about distractions. But play with me today, and let's jump in with some questions. Have you ever had a big hunger? Hey, Seema, welcome. To change the world, to change your world, to change what isn't working. And you get kind of sidetracked by the little hungers. Oh, they did it that way, I'll do that. They're using Instagram, I'll do that. Oh, I've got to do a new website. I've got to create a new song. I've got to. Because that's what the internet is telling me I have to do. So all of a sudden you have all these little hungers that you're looking to satisfy. Hey, Bagtal, welcome. Instead of just expanding out and asking, so what is this big hunger that I have? Right? What is it that you came here to be and do? And how can you go about doing that? Well, you can actually start asking yourself, what is this big hunger that I have? And then with that awareness, what's beyond that? Instead of what are all the little things that I have to do to get there, you could start easing into being the change you came here to be. And what is that big hunger for you? Right? I know for myself, when I first started getting involved in the internet and companies and businesses and do it this way and oh, you've got to pop. And, and it was like driving me crazy. And I was chasing all these little threads all over the place. So that once even I got there, it didn't create anything greater. Right? And because there's always something new on the internet to fix, to create, to present, to whatever that is. Hey, Kathy, welcome. And so I started asking myself, with this new information that came in the other day, highly recommend Dr. Terari Trent's book, The Girl Who Buried Her Dreams in a Can, a true story. It's a pictograph. It's an autobiographical book for all ages, right? Yay, Michelle, welcome. And one of the things that she had me aware of is, what is that big hunger, that has been driving me all these years? Right? And where do we get off the track with all the little hungers of, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. And what is it that you came here to be and do and change? Right? Does this planet work for you? Are you working for the planet? Are you working for your business, or is your business working with you? What is that big hunger that you have? And it's not about finding an answer. It's more about that energetic awareness of, oh, okay. So when I was asking myself that question this morning, walking along the beach, I started becoming aware that my book, Fearless Every Day, that I'm writing, is asking me to write it a letter. So, cool. That gave me a whole different place to be with this hunger I have to show women, to show young girls there's a different way of being on the world without having to be fearful, right? And for me, that's been something, an awareness I've had for myself, is the way that I be and do and walk upon this planet is, for the most part, fearless. And what makes that different right? And what information do I have that I could share with others, that they can actually live their day, every day, fearless? Hey, Erica, welcome, welcome. So this is not a monologue or dialogue, it's a conversation. What questions do you have about that big hunger that you have? That no matter how you try to fill it, some people try to fill it with food, some people try to fill it with stuff, some people try to fill it by showing they can't, right? Well, what if none of that was relevant? What is it that you're asking to create with your future, right? And going beyond all those little hungers, all those false priorities, all of those, right? What is it? Are you willing? Oh, good, I got a thumbs up. Thank you. Hey, I forgot to ask, is this something that's popping for any of you? Because it sure was an eye-opener for me. And it also gave me that place of ease in how I'm creating, what I'm creating. I mean, truly, what if the way that you create is totally different than everybody else? And what if that is something that actually satisfies you? Not because you have to, not because it's an expectation. You have a special way. All of you, each of you, have a special way of creating. And so what is that big hunger that's been driving you? Would you be willing to acknowledge it? Right? Yeah. Questions. What's popping for people? Yeah. I got one thumbs up. Everybody else, are you still asleep on daylight savings time? Or are there questions that you have that you're just kind of like ruminating with, right? Write it down. What is my big hunger, right? And part of that could be, how many of you have a big hunger to create an environment that actually works with you, that contributes to you? Christine, how to ask... Okay, sorry, the light is really hard in here. I'm going to be squinting. Let me see if I can move this up. How to ask, please give your gifts full and more contributions. Cancun, how you going to give me more money? Show me infinite possibilities. What, okay. I'm reading these questions. So I'm going to ask you, Christine, what is your big ask? What's your big hunger, right? Because the thing is, money follows joy. Right? Are you joyfully creating in how and where and when that works for you? And I mean works for you. And when I say works for you, I mean contributes to you, your life, and your living. You know, do you surround yourself with people, with nuances, with environment that contributes to you? Because it's not about just asking questions. It's about being that energy that creates. And that's why I'm asking you, stop for a minute and just give yourself a pause and just ask yourself, what is my big ask? Right? Yeah. Because if you're actually willing to contribute and be supported by your big ask, right, then do you think that might change the energy that you be with the questions that you ask? Hey, Jenny B. Bagtal, how can someone be fearless to express herself when she is afraid from people? So that's already a conclusion. So how can when I am is a conclusion. It's not a question. It could be... what have you bought into about fear that actually isn't real? You know, that would be my question. Who did I buy fear from, right? And what have I decided fear is? And what could change that? Like, so is your big ask to be all of you, Bagtal? You'd actually have to choose to step into that. And when we choose to step into all of us, the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, it's all about consciousness. Notice there's no fear there. If you truly start supporting yourself with your big ask, whatever that is, everything else, all those distractions, fear, shame, blame, regret, guilt, they're not relevant, right? It's like, wow, what else is possible? Like when I got the download today about writing my book a letter, telling my book what it is that I'm asking, and what my book is actually contributing to me about who and what I be. There was just an opening up, right? You've got to be willing to be present with your big ask. Yeah. Christine, I'm going to wish my boyfriend to visit my boyfriend in Cancun. Good. Have a good time. And everything that is. D, what if our big ask isn't clear? Cool. Okay. Just going to go back here to see. Okay, that's cool. It's really being present with yourself. Like, thank you so much, Dee, because we're taught to go look for it, right? There's so much information that pours in on the internet. Do this, do that. sign up for this, do that. It drives me crazy. There's no space there for just, go for a walk. And start asking, what is it that I came here to be and do? For myself, my big ask has always been to be the change that I know is possible. And then so the question might be, and what does that create? Right? And so there's no end to that. It's like, oh, so what could I create with that? Oh, well, what's one step that I could actually go into high schools? And what would be the benefit of that? Right? Oh, well, that would give me a sense of what else is possible and what could I share with the girls that I know is truly possible. What exercises can we play with? What workbooks can we create? You see, Dee, it's the big ask is, what is it that you came here to be and do? Not your purpose, right? But that being. It's like, I was reading a book on, a Buddhist book this morning as well, and they were talking about love, and there was a wonderful example about a wave knows it's part of the ocean, and it's still a wave, right? So what is it that you know you're part of, and that is instilled in you to ask for more? Let me know if that helps you, Dee. Again, I'm squinting. Sorry about all this. The light in here is amazing. Margaret, hey. Doria, hey. Dee, I can't get enough. I get caught up in frustration when I see others around figuring out their big ask. Awesome. I love you, Dee. Thank you. That's their big ask, right? You can't be somebody else, right? You can't be a better Oprah. You can't be whatever that is, that you're looking at what other people are doing, because they're willing to step into the energy of their big ass. As soon as we start looking to see what somebody else is doing and how they're doing it, and then we're telling the universe we're not quite ready until we figure out how they did it. Now, there's a difference between getting information. I do that all the time, looking and seeing how other people are creating, but I'm not seeking how they're creating. The information just pops because I'm asking, what are some other ways that I can get out in the internet? What are some other ways that I can create a membership for all of you? What other information do you all require? Right? And I can see how other people put it out. I can see what works for me and what doesn't work for me, but I'm not going to be them. I'm Susan. There's only one Susan right now in this 10 seconds, and that's me. So Dee, let me know if that gives you any, happy Sunday to you too, Marguerite. Let me know if that gives you any. Dee says, when am I part of that helps break it down? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Again, I'm sorry for all this squinting. Christine, I love to change my son's school. For his father, the limitation is the money. How can I ask to find the best selection for my son? Well, Christine, everywhere you've decided that you can't generate more money than your partner, do you want to create and destroy that? See, and everywhere you've decided there's only one kind of school, it's about being present with what is and then asking what's greater here. And again, are these your little hungers or your big hungers, right? Do you kind of get the difference? So far, I've heard all different things. I've heard about money, Christine, and going to visit your boyfriend and your son. It's really... Take a deep breath. What is your big ask? What is your big hunger? Right? Everywhere you've decided money is a problem, it's going to be a problem. Everywhere you've decided you have to depend on someone to gift you something, to give you something, to support you, you're going to get dependency. Right? Those are the little hungers. Right? I'm asking you to play with in a bigger sense. Right? Because we get caught up in those little hungers all the time. I myself totally get it. Chasing internet, chasing all those little subtexts that we're supposed to be doing, creating businesses on the internet. And then when I ask myself, wow, what actually contributes to my big hunger? Yeah. So Christine, what is your big hunger and what actually contributes to that? Hi Michelle, how does wanting connection block the receiving of it? Okay, I'm going to repeat that again. How does wanting connection block the receiving of it? Well, how many of us want something so bad, and we've defined the way it has to look and the way it has to be, that we actually aren't willing to receive anything else that possibly could be greater because it's different. So it's not about wanting. My target is to get this book out, Fearless, every day, right? I don't want it. that's my target. That's part of my big ask, right? So I'm ready to receive whatever information is flowing to me, however it looks like, right? Michelle, let me know if that assists you. And let me know for everybody else who's listening to this, is this information driving you crazy? Is it assisting you? I want to see some thumbs up and some questions. And it's a big conversation. Again, if you've noticed, in January, we started with creating, right? Creating your life, creating your living, and just being creative for 10 seconds before you go to bed. What does that look like? Is it baking cookies? Is it drawing a tree? Whatever that is for you. The idea of starting to instill, I got a thumbs up there, starting to instill that creation, right, that contributes to your big ask, to you're already in creation mode without judgment. Michelle, let me know what this feedback is like for you, right? Does everybody get that? It's not about one thing disconnects from the other. I got a heart. Yay, and a thumbs up. It's not about one thing disconnecting from the other. It's about, when we want something, we often sit in the want, right? We're sitting there in that lack, rather than, I got a heart on that one, rather than, okay, so if this is what I'm asking for, like even today, walking, I was asking what energy, space, and consciousness, I am that energy, I am that space, and I am that consciousness. What contribution can I receive today with all of that in me, right? Like, change is from the inside out. Yeah. Michelle, it's all mind-expanding energy. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, because we're taught, wait for what you want. Well, who does that belong to, right? Go get it. Ask questions. Be in the question. And really, that was a stunner for me today when I was asking my book, Fearless Every Day, what is it that you require of me today? And it said, write me a letter. So I'm going to do that, right? I wonder what that will shift and change. Yeah. What will that add to the book? Christine, who I can be today to create a new life. Okay, so there's a way that we use clearings that negates who we truly be. So when we say who can I be? Well, what if you start incorporating all the juiciness of you, Christine, and the lusciousness and the brilliance of you? So you are that energy space. You are that consciousness. So it's like, what would it take to turn it up, right? What would it take to be that today? With no regrets, with no expectations. I wonder what that could create. Yeah. D, love the reminder. Get the stuck unstuck. Yay. I can sense more energy flowing. Yes, for sure. Awesome. This is a big question. Christine, I love you. Thank you so much. Yes. It's really about acknowledging. We're not encouraged to acknowledge us, right? We're told, don't be vain, don't be stuck up, don't brag. Well, it's not about that at all. That's this reality. It doesn't work for us. Come on, we wouldn't be on this call if it did, right? It's about acknowledging all that you be, and let's go, right? Let's go. What is your big hunger with all that you be? What do you do so easily that you've negated looking for you, right? What if you are that different? Oh, well, too bad if they can't take a joke. Yeah. Tammy, I feel I have most of all this cased except for finances. Well, start asking to play with your money, right? Lots and lots and lots of ways to do that, right? Is money part of your big hunger or your little hunger, right? What do you ask of your money? Are you willing to make love to your money? Are you willing to ask your money when you pay a bill to go and have your money come back to you threefold, fourfold? Are you willing to invest in you? Right? I work with clients all around the world. For those of you who don't know, I have private sessions. I'd love for you to pop in if you want to go deeper on this. If you're stuck somewhere, go to private sessions on SusanLazarHart.com and let me know. Right? Let's get together and go through and beyond what's stopping you. Right? Because if money it wasn't the issue, what would you choose? That would be my question. Right? Christine, if money wasn't the issue, what would you choose? Tammy, if money wasn't the issue, what would you choose? And that's a great question I use all the time. And then ask, what would it take for this to show up? And it's amazing where money comes from. You have to be willing to receive it. Hey, Sandy, welcome, welcome. D, Sharing my specialties to others seems like bragging everything that brings up. Great to start. Yeah, who did you buy that from? Right? And there's a difference between totally present and being this huge contribution. By being you, by being the presence of you. You know, oftentimes, when I was in Mexico, hi Sandy, when I was in Mexico a couple of weeks ago, and there was someone and their foot was swollen, and I said, would you like me to put my hands on there? And he just was like, oh, okay. And I just played with his body for about 20 or 30 minutes. And then it was dinner time, and somebody said, oh my gosh, the swelling has gone down. I didn't really say anything except for, I do body work. Would you like me to put my hands on your body? And it changed his whole universe, right? It's about being who you truly be and really being that, right? Knowing where to go, what to go, how to play with it, and asking to go beyond, right? Not as a quest, but what does that mean for you? Is that part of your big hunger, reaching beyond, right? And being willing to receive it. Sandy says, so cool. Thanks, Sandy. Yeah. So Dee, let me know how that played with you, right? Let's see, here we are. Yeah. Hey, Sybil, welcome, welcome. So for those of you just popping on, please have a re-listen when we pop this in. We've had lots of juicy nuggets. It's really, my charge for you, my challenge for you this week is even today, right? Don't let it go into the whole week. Today, ask yourself, what is my big hunger, right? And are there any little hungers that you have that have totally sidetracked you? Little hungers could be whatever that is for you, what you've decided you can't do, what you've focused on. I know for myself, I am so like an Uber creator, and I'm focusing on this book this month. It's like, get her done. And there's all kinds of things that I'm tweaking, and I'm just like cleaning up, but the focus is this, right? That's my big hunger, and I got some big hearts on it. And it's fearless every day, and what by accomplishing and moving this book into production can change with my world, with the world of high school kids, with the world of women. I wonder, right? What else is possible? Until I actually choose it, it's not going to happen, right? We create, right? By acknowledging who we be and the difference that we be. Yeah. Oh, lots of things up here. More play, please, in my universe. Absolutely, Michelle. D, yes, I will listen to this again. No doubt I'll hear it differently next time. Make it deeper. You're awesome. Oh, thank you, D. Dominique says, thank you. Yay, Michelle. Many blessings, Susan. I'm focusing on my book, too. Awesome. Yay. It's like, imagine the world without you in it. Imagine the world with you and what you're creating in it. Yay. It's that simple. So until next Sunday, please, again, if you want to dig deeper, if you're looking for some coaching, contact me, either PM me or go to Susan Lazar Hart with private sessions, and let's get her on the books. And I love you too, Christine. Thank you. Live boldly. Love greatly. Love you greatly, right? Change is from the inside out. You can ask all the questions you want. You have to be willing to be the question, right? You can look at what everybody else is doing. You have to be willing to look at what you're doing and what you're creating and acknowledge it. Hey, Kimberly, acknowledge it, acknowledge it, acknowledge it. Dee says, thank you, Susan, for all who you be. Oh, you too, Dee. Love your questions. Love everybody coming in. I'm going to listen again, says Christine. Thanks so much. Live boldly, love greatly. Again, that means you, right? And be that fearless leader you came here to be. With what is that big hunger? Tammy, thank you. And let's go for it, right? Write it down. Come on to Ask Susan during the week and let me know what's happening for you. I'm going to let you know what's happening for me. Thank you. Sandy says, I'm going to go start from the beginning. Hey, Jana. Welcome, welcome. All right. I adore you all. I'm going to go and enjoy these last few days in Turks. How did I get so lucky? I guess I asked for it. So what are you asking for? Your big ask. Again, write it down. You know, the environment of your big ask, the people you want to be with. What is it that you came here to change, do, be, and create, instill, and instigate that you've been sidelined by watching all your little hungers? Go for the big one. Mwah. Adore you all. And see you next Sunday. Besos. Thanks.